you like my content, click subscribe and hit the notification button if you want regular updates on my uploads. Go check out my brother's YouTube channel. His channel's name is Bren Mobile. He posts like really high quality clips of Call of Duty mobile gameplay, and his channel is very professional. Link is in the description and I recommend you go there. Today we're going to talk about a tier list of the best Batman cartoons. So this video is not going to be very long. It's a tier list video. I may do a review of these cartoons separately, but right now we're just going to make a short little tier list video. Of course, the first one I'm going to talk about is Batman the Animated Series, since I didn't grow up with the Adam West Batman cartoons. And I feel like the animated series just had some of the best writing and animation of the old 90s cartoons of superheroes. And Bruce Timm and Paul Dini really wrote Bruce Wayne incredibly in this. His personality is just so good in this. He's charitable, kind, forgiving. He can see the good in people, especially Harvey Dent. He knows Harvey's good, he's just messed up and needs help. And that's what's amazing about him, and it reflects on his version of Batman. He is not edgy with the police. He is not edgy with his allies. He cares about them and supports them and understands that he isn't alone. He understands that he's not alone in this fight. He can rely on everybody. Alfred's amazing too. He cares about Bruce in this. You can tell he does a ton. He goes to fly out and save him in that one episode where Bruce forgot who he was because he got knocked out. It's just such a good series. Pray Chance to Dream, Christmas with the Joker, Fear Itself, Mad as a Hatter, so many good episodes. It gave us some of the best versions of the villains we've seen of Batman. Joker, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, Mr. Freeze, Harvey Dent, all of them. They're so good. They're well written, they're menacing, but some of them are very relatable and you can feel bad for them. Specifically Mr. Freeze and Two-Face. But that's why this is definitely viewed as one of the greatest superhero cartoons of all time, and that's why it deserves an S tier. Now, New Batman Adventures is not as good as the animated series to me. Some people will say it's just as good, and it's basically still the animated series, and I disagree. I think the animation got worse, especially Joker. He's all bug-eyed, weird, but Batman as a character is just even worse in this. He's terrible. He's angry all the time. He's very rude to his allies. Nightwing is awesome, and I totally understand why he punches Batman in that scene because of how much of a jerk this version of Bruce Wayne is. He lost all his character and personality, and I do not like this version of Batman at all. And most of the episodes of this are so forgettable, I can barely even remember a single one from the New Batman Adventures. All I remember is that Barbara Gordon one. That's it, with the fear toxin. It's really bad, and they forget what makes the show good. They forget everything. They forget what made the animated series so good, and that is exactly why it gets a D tier. Batman Beyond. This one is a classic from my childhood, and I always dug it as a series. It's incredible. Terry McGinnis is the perfect person to take over the Batman role, and I honestly think no one else could, comic book wise or TV show wise. But the story of this is just so interesting. The fact that Bruce is forced to retire because of old age is just such a cool concept for Batman. That's how he would retire. He wouldn't retire young. He wouldn't retire as a younger man. That's just not in Bruce's character. And I like that old Bruce Wayne is kind of funny and he's kind of sarcastic because, you know, he's just kind of seen it all. He's seen everything, all the villains' tricks. He's lived his life and seen how the world works. And that's what I love about it. And he teaches Terry about this stuff that he's learned. And Terry starts to become his own version of Batman. He starts to grow up and, you know, understand that, you know, the world isn't the way he sees it. He's just a sarcastic teen as a kid. He's like a brat. And that's the thing. He's a punk at first, but Bruce brings out the good in him. And that's what's amazing about this series. And at the same time, it just feels good. I like the villains. I like the animation. All of it's good to me. I will always remember this show. I loved the first episode. You really feel bad for Terry when he goes through what he went through. But it's just a great show, and I'm definitely putting this at S tier. The Batman is an underrated show, and I will honestly say in a lot of ways it does things better than the animated series that Bruce Timm and Paul Dini made. And that's mostly because Batman as a character is consistent in this. Batman is the same as Bruce Wayne in this. Bruce Wayne is kind, caring, and understands people and what they go through. But he's also cool. He's got one-liners. His voice is deep and really awesome. That's attributed to Rino Romano. He is an incredible voice actor for Batman. I will never forget his performance. And Alfred. His relationship with Alfred feels so touching in that Bane episode. You feel like this is a father worrying his son is going to get himself killed. And that's what's so good about it. Joker, Ragdoll, freaking Firefly, all those obscure characters are just somehow amazing in this. They make them so good, and they made me want to actually learn about the comic book versions. Penguin's awesome in this too. There's so many characters that are obscure that they give the spotlight. Black Mask, he's incredible in this. The animation's better than Bruce Timm's animation. I'm sorry, I'll say that. It's better. The stories are better than most of the animated series episodes, not counting season 1 and 2. They're equal there, but for the most part, it's better than Batman the Animated Series. It has a better animated movie. There's just so much stuff it does better. The gadgets are cooler. The characters are more interesting. It's just an incredible series, and I'm going to be honest, it ties with the animated series. But any other season after that, it beats the animated series. The Joker episodes that delve into Batman's conflict with the Joker, the Clayface episode with Ethan Bennett's life being ruined by the Joker, the Hugo Strange episodes where he messes with Batman's mind, the Bane episode where Alfred and his relationship with Bruce is tested, the episode where Black Mask shows up and shows his worthiness as a foe towards Batman, the Mr. Freeze episode where Mr. Freeze is just a cold robber. There's so many cool things about this series that they do so different from the animated series that works. Last one is Brave and the Bold, and I'm gonna be short on this one because we're kind of running a little long with this video anyway, but I'm not a big fan of Brave and the Bold. It's not that I don't like Adam West, and it's not that I don't like Batman, like the voice for him. I just don't like Adam West's Batman being modern, and it just doesn't fit. It's not my version of Batman. I didn't grow up with this, and I feel like they didn't represent Adam West well with this series, which is exactly why I'm putting it on the same level as New Batman Adventures. It's just not, I'm not into it. So tell me in the comments what your favorite Batman animated TV series are, and I'll respond to them, and we can start a little discussion about it. Anyways, see you later, and that's the end of the video.